Hello everybody! Tony, look out! There's a ghost behind you! Oh, come on, I'm just kidding. There's no such thing as ghosts. Or is there? There are so many shows and videos about them on TV and on the internet these days. They feature different witnesses and show evidence to prove they exist. You may even know people who have seen ghosts. Or maybe you have seen them yourself. Before we get into all sorts of different theories that explain or disprove their existence, share your ghost stories in the comments. So, let's begin our paranormal investigation. Boo! First of all, let's see what science has to tell. Obviously, it denies the existence of any supernatural phenomena, so scientists try to explain the appearance of ghosts by natural causes. So, according to one hypothesis, ghosts are a response of the brain to certain external influences that cause hallucinations. For example, their appearance can be caused by the use of drugs or alcohol, prolonged hunger, or even stress and fatigue. In addition, there are a number of mental illnesses in which patients see hallucinations, and then they go on TV shows and tell the whole world how they have seen a ghost. An original theory was proposed by programmer Vic Tandy. He believed that ghosts appear as a result of the effect of a standing sound wave on the brain. Hold on, we need to take a break to understand what sound is. In simple terms, sound is a wave, and therefore it moves like a wave. Different sounds have different characteristics. They can differ in frequency, amplitude, and other parameters. But we are focusing on frequency. You have heard how the voices of different people are described. They say, "He has a very high voice," or on the contrary, a low voice. That depends on the frequency. The higher the frequency of the voice, the squeakier it is, and vice versa. The frequency of male voices is usually lower than that of female voices. Here is a sound wave with a high frequency and a low frequency. This is a man speaking and this is a woman speaking. And the sound wave can affect any object by transmitting a vibration with its own frequency. Sort of like that trick when people break glasses with their voice. So that's it. Let's go back to Vic Tandy. One day he was working late into the night. Suddenly, he got a very distinct feeling that there was someone behind his left shoulder. And yet Tandy knew very well that there was no one else in the lab except him. A ghost? That was the first thought that popped into his head at that moment. This made him shudder. However, the instinctive fear quickly passed. Vic decided to explain the paranormal appearance by natural causes. To do so, he asked a physicist he knew for help. According to their hypothesis, the feeling of terror and the appearance of barely visible human figures in the surrounding space are caused by a low-frequency sound that our ears do not perceive. But at the same time, it can resonate with the eyeball. And when their frequencies coincide, a person has visual sensations and then sees images moving in space. Most often, this effect appears in long and narrow rooms, for example, in corridors. That is why ghosts usually appear in corridors and narrow stairwells. Parapsychologists have a completely different view on the appearance of ghosts. They believe that ghosts are real entities, representing the ephemeral shells of dead people, which after death retain the memory of the material world and strive to stay close to it. This may be due to several reasons. For example, a deceased person does not believe in their own death and continues to live as if nothing happened to them. Sometimes they cannot come to terms with the fact that they need to sever ties with everything that surrounded them in their earthly life forever. There is also a hypothesis, according to which, in critical situations some people emit psychic signals, which another person, being at some distance from the first, perceives as a visual image. According to another hypothesis, strange living beings or ghosts of dead people do exist, only not on Earth, but in another world and in another time frame. However, under certain conditions, visions from the past penetrate into our space and time. These phenomena are called chronomirages. More often, ghosts from the past appear in those places where there were considerable emissions of psychic energy, for example, on battlefields. As you can see, there are a lot of hypotheses around ghosts. It's probably already a fact that a lot of people have seen them. But what are they? Actual ghosts, a figment of the imagination, a trick of light, or some other unusual phenomenon? We don't have the answer. But ghosts are very easy to detect when they are around. All you have to do is watch our educational video. The link is right here on the screen and in the description below. So, tell us in the comments your thoughts on ghosts. Do you think they exist or not? Or maybe you've seen them yourself. The best stories will be featured in the next video. See you in the new episode of Super Tony. Bye-bye!